All right. Good evening, everyone.
Hey, how's it going?
Tired.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I sure slept good last night, but
Yes,
still,
knowing that everything was uploaded and just like ready to release this
yeah.
morning.
I did not sleep good Friday night into Saturday. Cause I literally as I was throughout the night, as I was drifting away from sleep, I literally had in my head this Tetris effect, staring at GameCube dither patterns and staring at those sort of, I don't know if it's really subsampling artifacts, but staring at those artifacts that were on the official component cables and the HDMI. I just had I was just looking up close at this, and it was just it was on my head, and I couldn't get it to go away. I saw someone asking in the chat room just before we went live, did I test? I don't know if it was the same person that asked in the comments, but someone asked in the comments of the video about testing say Carby, which would be a cheaper HDMI only solution. Test it with a VGA HDMI to VGA adapter to the OSSC's VGA input, which I had so many things to consider and process with this episode that's a great idea that I don't know why it didn't come to mind. But the last thing I want to do is look at a GameCube right now.
Yes.
So I have
Yeah,
not tested
that is why we are not streaming anything on the GameCube tonight.
Yeah,
You are GameCubed out
I'm
for
so
sure.
GameCubed out. I mean, this has been for me probably the toughest episode I've edited. I mean, there have been episodes that took longer.
It wasn't even editing; it was just getting the correct information.
Yeah, figuring it out.
Because things were constantly changing throughout. I mean, I was looking. We shot our on-camera stuff over a month ago.
Yeah.
I mean, our first pass at the script was, the script that we originally recorded was a month ago.
And I would love to know what percentage of our original voiceover is still in the video.
I think a good portion of mine is, but I'm not even sure about yours. I have absolutely no idea.
I have no clue on either. Yeah, I mean yours didn't change hardly at all in the first probably third of what you read. But
right.
there were a lot of additions to yours, not a lot of wholesale replacements. But yes. It was so hard. I mean, Tech Assistant is saying production quality was really nice as always. I mean, I really appreciate that because this always kind of happens where it's when you've looked at an episode for so long, you're like, I don't even know if this is good anymore. The problem with this one was it was written and shot and then rewritten and redone and retested and re-verified and looked at this, looked at that, and it just evolved in a very non-linear way. And Coury said at the end, there was one last thing that I want him to revoice, and he said, are you sure you're just not getting too into the weeds on this? I think you're you feel like you've looked at this for so long that you're starting to doubt everything.
Yeah,
and you were
it's true.
You were absolutely right. I'm like, well, you're right, but I still want you to do this one last thing. I promise I probably promise you it was the last thing 4 times.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the final re-record that I did before that, I actually called it the final re-record or final lines.
No, I think you did that 3 things ago.
Probably, but I mean, any video person out there will tell you that if you ever label anything final,
you'll have
never going to be the final. Yeah, there's
a final 2.
There's definitely definitely going to be a final or a final 2 or final 3.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time. Yeah, but it was so difficult, and like you said, I was just doubting everything because it's I was just looking at it so close and is this right? Is this true? And Trying to
You got
verify.
a 1999 donation from Jeff
Dang.
JK66 Mustang. It
Thank
says,
you.
thanks for all the quality videos. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. But yeah, it was so difficult. You know, this started before the controllers episode, and we just had to put it on the back burner because I mean, when I set out to do this episode and started writing,
We were like, it's gonna take a week.
yeah, because
This would be a real quick thing to do.
it was going.
And that was before we even heard about the Mark II. I mean, the Mark II being released was kind of a happy accident. We decided to do this, and then it was like, oh, the Mark II is coming out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was like I had planned it where I was going to like do this whole thing within 2 weeks. We thought it could be done in a week in theory, but you know, I had 2 weeks set aside for it. It was just going to be the first GCHD and the Carby. That's all it was going to be. Because we had both of them, and we're like, cool, let's do that. That'd be easy. It's hardly different from what I looked at in the GameCube episode, but it's plug and play. That's cool. And so then I see Eon tease that they're going to be announcing something. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, we're like, oh gosh. I'm like, this is either going to be the best week to do this or the worst week to do this. I mean, it could be really cool, relevant, happening stuff. But at the same time, it's like, oh no, my plans are shot. So, and then, you know, over the course of the production, then Insurrection announced their component cables. And they weren't yet ready for us to test, but the fact that it kept dragging on and on and on, they got to the point where they had a development prototype that they could loan me.
Yeah, and that was lucky because they are located very close to you.
Yeah, they're actually located in the city I was born in. So, you know, I was able to meet them halfway at a game store where we both bought things and get that cable. Or funny enough, I ran into a viewer of the show at that store. And I'm like, he's like, oh, hey. I'm like, well, you should be more interested in what this guy's doing. And he's like, oh, are you the Insurrection guy? So that was, he's like, did you bring anything extra? I might actually want to buy something. It was
like, nope, not this time.
It was kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, it was just a very complicated production, and but I'm glad people are happy to get the new info. So the big plus out of this episode for me, I think, is that I learned a lot that I think is going to be relevant for the Wii episode.
Right.
So that
hopefully make that a lot easier for you.
It should make that a lot easier for me. Yes. Frank, no, it was not the iFix Retro guy, but I did hear he was in North Carolina. But or he was visiting or something. But no, it was not him. We had not crossed paths. But anyway, so speaking of not GameCube, let's play some Katamari. I'm guessing you didn't try this. It seems like the kind of thing you would not be inclined to try. But
actually, I played it quite extensively this morning.
No,
I knew you were going to be playing it today, and then I just
right. I mean, I knew you were going to be playing, but I was going to say I'm going to try to use the motion controls.
Oh yeah, I played in handheld.
Yeah, I'm guessing. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. But yeah, I was guessing you would not feel inclined to try the motion controls, but I really want to. I think it sounds like a good fit for this game. So let's see how it goes. I love this game. It was not long after it came out, it was recommended to me by a friend who my parents had recently moved to Michigan. This was while I was in college, and so my friend from Delaware, he was like, so I didn't have a chance to try the game before it came out, but he was like, oh, you gotta play this game. It's so crazy, and it's like $20. It was like $20.
Yeah, it launched for $20. I mean, because they didn't think it was going to sell or be of much interest to a lot of people.
Yeah, and I've always...
It was very surprising.
Yeah,
The game volume.
Well, I mean...
Yeah.
It does seem high, though. I did have to turn down my stereo. Is that better? It can go more down, or it can go more up. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure it was like $20, and I've always wondered if the Japanese version was also a budget game or not.
I have no idea.
But I was very excited about this when it was announced on the Nintendo Direct, and I learned like a week before it came out that it was not getting a physical release, and I was like really shocked. And then I learned the next day that actually GameStop is doing a physical release, so I was very excited about that.
And this is, I mean, I've only played this one and the second one. I do have the 360 one that I got at Goodwill recently for $3, and it is in pretty good condition. I should really give it a shot, but I did not like the second one nearly as much as I like this one. This one, I was kind of really appreciating it today in the time that I spent with it, because it gives you, these missions. You go and you roll up as much as you can, and you get to a certain size, but you also have, usually if you have enough time to go like a little bit bigger, and then you start to wonder like, well, I wonder how big I'm really going to get before the end of this game. Like each time they let you overshoot it just a little bit more.
Right. It doesn't seem to be giving me the motion control option yet.
I don't know if there is like straight up motion control. Is there?
I thought they talked about motion controls, and I thought they said you could use motion controls in the Nintendo Direct.
The only thing I can imagine it being is so you can do the spin. So I bet you can do it for the spin, the charge and roll.
I mean, wouldn't it make sense though that you could control like this, like pushing the Katamari for real? Come on.
I don't know.
I thought you could. We'll see if they give me the option. I swear that they talked about motion controls and in the Nintendo Direct.
See, Super Nintendo Zach is saying, I really like your guys' intro song so much on our channel. Thank you. You should, and if you look in the channel links, you can go to download that song. It has lyrics. It's by my friend Matt McCheskey. He is the younger brother of one of my good friends, Justin, that I grew up with, and he's done a lot of music for us. If you look at some of the documentary stuff that we've done, it's basically all his music in the Night Trap and Limited Run documentaries. It was all his.
Yeah, I don't think we fully finished saying like the I've only really played the first sequel to this. I've played demos of some of the others.
Right.
But We Love Katamari is an okay game, but it had too many special objectives. Like, you know, I remember one was like you have to like collect so many crabs, or you have to collect a bunch of this type of thing, and that was just absolutely not as fun as.
Well, the crab things is in this one.
Okay, but there were more missions like that.
Oh yeah, I remember. You know, you got to collect all the fires or something.
Yeah,
like
or don't do this or don't do that, or yeah, like wasn't there something like you had to? Sometimes there's like more complicated things, like don't you like collect a bunch of water to like put out fire or something like that? Or I don't know if that was in that, or maybe that might have been in a demo for like the PS3 version or something like that.
Maybe. I don't know. I just know that
this one has
very simple and pure.
Yeah, this one has some special things, but they aren't the focus. Like this one is all about this one's all about just collecting stuff and just making as big of a Katamari as you can. And you made a very good comparison to Super Monkey Ball, where like with the second game they just made it so overly complicated and lost sight of the fact that it was the purity of the first one that made it so fun.
Right. And I can understand that because it gives them more to work with. Having objectives makes it just more easy for them to just design new levels that are different than the first one, and and that makes sense.
The demo for the PS3 version didn't do much for me, but I remember thinking the demo for the Vita one seemed pretty good.
Oh yeah.
And I've always kind of wanted to get that one, but I never have. But it is nice. I know Katamari has been in HD, but it is nice for me now to have a Katamari in HD and the one that is like clearly the best Katamari.
This game is also very, very kid friendly. I was playing it with my daughter today, and she didn't know what to make of it. She's like, look at the King of the Cosmos at first, and she's like, he looks funny, and then she's kind of looking at him for a little bit, and she's like, you can see the outline of his potty area.
So it is or is not kid friendly.
He's 6 for those that don't know.
Oh, look at this this game 2600 that has an card.
Yeah.
It has an card memory card.
Interesting. So it's based on the PS2, obviously.
Oh wait, so he took me out of the level.
Only on this first one.
Oh, okay.
Going forward, it's not. I think I played up until the 6th Make a Star today. For what's going to be next, it's probably the Wii's going to be next, and Dreamcast probably after that. Dreamcast, we're kind of waiting on more info on HD Retrovision's solution to get out there, and I feel like if we made the Dreamcast one before that releases, it would be a major piece that's missing, because that's honestly like one of the things that they've wanted to do since
before they even started.
Yes. I mean, that was a thing that they had been talking about for a long time. But I mean, it's hard to say how far off it is. But I guess that's the intention right now, is that we want to wait for that to at least be in a state where we can do something with it. Because now that the HDMI is a thing, and if you weren't in last week's stream, which I'm guessing that most people that are here tonight were probably in last week's stream because we had double the amount of people watching last week. The archive to watch that is... Oh, you can change it. Okay. you can go to the front page of the channel and watch the archive of it. And if you're really, really interested, I did a kind of walkthrough with it for our Patreon or supporter video log series that we do. We release them every Thursday, and I kind of did a walkthrough of the menu and all the different options, and then it's just like almost an hour
Look how they kept the old Namco logo for the file saving.
Oh yeah. I like that it's the an A, MC, or 0.
Yeah. But it's cool that they used the old logo. That there was no one that was like, oh, that's off brand. We can't do that now.
Yeah.
What does he?
But
For that toy.
so there's the walk through the menu, and then it's basically almost an hour of just raw footage from different games that I recorded, and it's full screen. Last week, I think that the live stream, I had my bit rate really low for some reason, so it was pixelating a lot. So if you really want to see some raw captures of it, we've done that, available to Patreon and or YouTube supporters.
All right, let's see if this motion controls is good. I know no one in the world probably thinks this sounds cool but me, but I think it sounds cool.
Yeah, we're definitely doing an original Xbox video.
Which direction is forward? My gyro positioning must be miscalibrated. Is there like a recalibrate button? Is there?
I don't know.
Is there like
You're asking the wrong guy?
Is there like a manual on Switch?
I'm sure that there is.
Oh wait. Which do I? Which? Okay. Okay. What's neutral? Okay.
More GameCube videos and less Sega videos.
Not very many people say that.
Yeah.
Okay, as much as I like the idea of motion controls, this is not working out. Oh well.
Well, Netflix lowers price to $5.99 like Hulu when Disney Plus comes out. After Marvel next says it's only 2 or 3.
I might switch.
I don't know.
I might switch to the Pro controller.
I didn't realize that Hulu was already down there. We signed up for you can get a year for $1 a month. A year of Hulu for $12. More Sega. I've been working on the best way to play the original Phantasy Star series. And I thought I'd be able to do it pretty quick. But the thing that's really slowing me up is playing the original game on the Master System. So used to being able to use the very easy mode to double or triple my experience points and money, and it really speeds up the game and in every other version. And not only that, but there's no GameCube or Game Genie codes or ability on the Master System. I think that there is a action replay that you can use, but I'd have to import that.
I don't remember ants. Maybe they were too small to see on PS2.
Maybe.
I mean, I every once in a while I'll capture from this game. I usually go to like the last level, which is Make the Moon, right? I think
I think that's the last one, yeah.
And like I always end up like okay, I gotta do something really quick here, but then I end up like playing the level for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Any plans to look for like at systems more obscure than the PC Engine for the best video output qualities? Yeah, I mean, eventually we're gonna run out of stuff to do, so we're gonna be doing. We'll try to do as many of the kind of weird stuff. I'd love to do, say, like a Commodore 64 episode would be a lot of fun. But we still have a long ways to go before that. I mean, I'd love to do. I mean, Neo Geo is obviously planned.
I think some people would say Commodore 64 is less obscure than PC Engine.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. But yeah, Commodore 64 would be cool. There's a lot of stuff to do though.
Yes.
And we have a lot of other ideas of just episodes we want to do in general. For anybody who is watching that is just subscribed, you know, we had the Castlevania episode we did, and we're gonna be doing stuff like that more often.
Absolutely.
Which is why I'm doing the Phantasy Star one. That's kind of, I don't expect it to be like a big view numbers on it, especially since I'm not able to coincide it with the release of the Sega Ages release. I tried to, I wanted to, but there's too much going on. We have that, and we have we want to do a Wonder Boy one, which we've been capturing for as well. Hopefully both of those will hit in the early portion of next year.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm feeling confident about it.
At one point, we maybe had crazy dreams of getting Wonder Boy out this year, but
yeah,
that wasn't happening.
Yeah. But I mean, in addition to that, I don't know. We've seemed to have like hit some sort of pretty serious momentum in the channel lately.
Yeah, like
so
everything we've been doing has been like, it's like, oh, this is like a new first 24 hours record.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the last one was first 24 hours, and this new video hit that first 24 hours in basically less than 12 hours. So it's going to be a new 24-hour record.
I don't even know what to expect anymore.
So I think you'll see us doing, you know, some crowd pleasers as well. I think. I know that you wanted to do something with Resident Evil, but John just did something with it too. But you might be doing something as well.
Right. Yeah.
To try and coincide with the re-release or the remake.
Right.
Rather.
Right. I was holding off on watching John's video until
you did yours.
Until I finished the.
Until you did, yeah.
Yeah, because I do want to watch this video because I want to make sure that we hit on different things.
Right.
Which I'm sure his video.
I'm
sure his video gets a lot more, technical in terms of like how the game world was created and things like that.
Right. Yes. I mean that is very much what he.
So yeah, I'm
how impressive the N64 technology-wise was.
Right.
There's another question about the theme music. It's done by my friend Matt McCheskey. If you look at our channel links, you can get a link to his Bandcamp, and he does have a version available for download for Name Your Price, I believe, on there. But it is his version with all the lyrics to it. It's not the exact version featured on our channel. And it slightly has a bit more instruments going on in it. I don't know what the proper term would be for that, but it is. We use that version without lyrics in our Night Trap documentary over the ending credits.
Oh, you know what? I can't see that TV very clearly, but there is a TV, isn't there? There's a TV somewhere else that you can see the back of. And I remember on the PS2 version.
We should maybe just do a video on that.
Oh, that'd be a
CRT.
great idea. Like what video game has like the best CRTs? Like our quest to look behind the CRT of every, like the view that you get in Resident Evil 7 in VR, you can see the backside of the TV so much better than you can playing normally. I'm pretty sure Resident Evil 7 would have the best CRTs of any video game. I mean, they aren't PVMs or nothing, but they I mean, they've got some serious connections. I mean, I want to say there was VGA. I mean, it only looked like a 15 kilohertz CRT, but it looked like it had VGA inputs. I mean, it might have been a true, like, non-PVM EDTV. That'd be pretty awesome, right?
Yeah. I see Adam Jenkins is saying, I wish Matt McCheskey would release more of more of the music that he does. I mean, he's been giving us like a slow trickle of stuff, but he is a school teacher, and his time to make music is very limited lately. You'll hear a lot of his music in upcoming documentaries. Although we do have one documentary where we are using somebody else's music. Because
it'll make
fits
sense.
It fits the subject matter better. I saw someone was saying, Inverse Cloud is saying, I've never got to see one of these streams live before. Well, thanks for joining us.
And thanks for presumably watching the archives.
The archives do pretty good, I think, in general.
There was some stream that from the past month or so, I forget exactly which one, that I thought had pretty good numbers. Oops, I am going to go to collection.
Oh, is there a US dub to this game? Or am I missing something?
US dub?
Oh, okay. Yuzo Koshiro documentary confirmed. No, I wish. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
But that would be...
I feel like a documentary on his whole family would be interesting, because, like, isn't, like, his whole family, like, involved in games?
Yeah. I mean, it's...
Like, his mom is...
Yeah, I mean, doing something on Ancient in general would be super, super interesting. I don't think that that's something we could possibly get.
I mean,
although, you know, I'm up for trying. I'm up for trying.
I mean, the thing is, we've got like so many things shot right now that we need to like
we need to we got to clear our plate of
like this.
Stuff.
Like 2018 was a year of shooting documentaries, but not really releasing anything. Like, you know, you saw a little bit of Dan and a shot of Steve in the episode today.
And that stuff we shot back in April. Yeah. And that stuff is, you know, we're gonna really, we've been working on it, but it's gonna get especially more so. I'm not my counts. In the new year, I think what's gonna happen for the rest of the year is we're just gonna be working on the games that we played this year.
Yeah.
Episode that will ideally be out. I mean, probably on the 30th, I think. Any chance of video game magazines and making one of your episodes? So it's just something for the whole works, reading magazines. Oh, I mean, have been working on a documentary about gaming magazines. If you look through our community page, you can see our little teaser trailer for some of our upcoming documentaries. And we've been slowly shooting a documentary about, for me, it's like about U.S. gaming magazines before the internet.
Or before the internet really took over anyway.
Right. We got 2 donations.
Ooh.
We have one from Sharudo Paulson. Says Dip is the best Katamari cousin. Thank you. And Bubba Matt 812 says, when to expect the next RGB 200 episode?
Originally I had hoped to have one out by the end of this year. Believe it or not, there's actually no 200 in 2018, which I felt really bad about. But the fact that people seem to have liked especially the last 3 videos that we've done so much, I feel much less bad about that now.
But it's still the fact that it's been over a year since.
Yeah. I mean, I think people have still liked the content that we've done, but that was not at all intentional that it would have gotten to this point. But probably within the first couple of 2 or 3 months of the new year, I'm guessing. I'm intending to do a Wii episode.
Yeah.
Like I said, this one probably made that one a lot easier since there's a lot of overlap.
Yeah. I see Clay 3613 is saying like the Blip magazine from Marvel. The ones I'm thinking of are more like Electronic Gaming Monthly, Game Fan, Game Players, Game Pro, Next Gen, Video Games and Computer Entertainment. That era, like from probably 88 until 98, 99 or so. Back in April, it kind of started to escalate when we went to Chicago shooting something. When we were shooting that thing with Steve, we were able to interview 5 or 6 people who wrote for EGM in the very, very early days, and it went awesome.
Yeah.
And we have a couple of things we need to wrap up first, and also for doing the magazine thing, that's completely. We can only do it if we can travel. We've been trying to wrap it in with other travel that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, the ability to continue that is totally dependent on funding, I guess. We will do it as we can. But with the stuff we got at EGM was so good.
Yeah.
But if you go to our community tab, you can see our upcoming documentary stuff that we've shot, to give you an idea. I mean, there was another one we spent. So we were traveling around, so we tried to really shoot as many things as we could in each place. So we were shooting something in San Francisco, so we randomly got to spend a couple of days at Digital Eclipse, which was kind of awesome. And I really had a desire to do a video or a documentary on kind of the history of Digital Eclipse and how their existence is different now than it was compared to the
PS2.
Like PS2 and kind of those other compilations that they were doing.
They're taking a very different
different approach now, where it's very, very much like this curated collection with a museum and all this other hard to find materials, like with the SNK collection.
I really want to get the Have you got the SNK collection?
I haven't. I was very close.
I see. I keep seeing it in Best Buy, and I'm like, oh.
I know. I every time I see it, I'm like, it's like that. The bikini clad Athena on the cover is is calling to me.
She's very prominent.
Yes, she is. So we have a bunch of stuff shot for that. It's just What else do we do? We, if a lot of people have heard about Evan Amos's the game console book that came out, we spent a full day with him when we were in New York in September.
Before his book came out. We didn't even know that it was like ready to come out.
Yeah. But that's kind of something that I wanted to do a documentary on for a long time. And
yeah, that was actually honestly one of the first ideas we had for a documentary.
Yes. And it's awesome. The stuff we shot with him, he did an amazing interview. And it's not something that's going to be like super long or extensive, but I really feel that he is this unsung hero of the retro gaming community, especially for people that make YouTube videos.
Yeah, and I don't think I had a sense until we met him. Well, you had actually met him a few years earlier when you were in New York.
Yes.
But,
yeah.
Having met him and talked to him about like it's so interesting, like how dedicated he is to this. Like he recognizes it as like kind of this honestly lifelong need to keep it up, like to have access to the hardware, to continue to photograph it, to make sure that each photograph is consistent with the others that are currently available, and that obscure hardware is not lost along the way. I mean, he's really treating this as a serious documentation project that he is
and it makes me really sad that we haven't gotten
his life to. It's pretty impressive.
Right. It makes me sad that we have not been able to get that up, but you know what?
That's evergreen.
It is, but I think that right now the book is like one of the #1 sellers on Amazon.
Oh wow!
So I think that it would be
that should be a priority.
Well, it is
after you get like your current big project out of the way.
Yes, that is my #1 thing I'm going to get to. It's not a game episode right after that.
It'll be easy.
Well, I mean, it's very interesting. But when we were in San Francisco and we were shooting the stuff at Digital Eclipse, we also got to spend a bunch of time at Mike Micah's house in his basement, and we recorded all this stuff for Patreon. That was just us kind of hanging out in his basement for an hour and a. Well, the video was actually an hour and a half, but the raw footage was almost 2 hours. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, it's super casual and relaxed, and really fun if you're interested in obscure random video game discussions.
He has a Mega Man soccer one. Like
Yeah.
like who even knew that existed? Yeah. It's pretty wild. I just got pizza off of that car's hubcaps.
There you go. I saw it happen.
I mean, this game is just like so chill and relaxing. Like you can just kick back with this game anytime.
I kind of made a decision today that a lot of times I will, if I'm like hanging out with the kids and when they're in the playroom,
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking like, well, if they're just doing that, I mean, I should like bring my Switch down and just like play some games.
Yeah, I mean that's absolutely. And I think we were kind of talking about this. I mean, we had sort of had this idea independently. Like every time we get a game, like we should like take at least an hour to play like every game we get and just record from it and just like get a little bit of experience with that game. And then
we don't even have to. I don't even think we need to record from it. I think it's more just so you have a save file that's not the intro for if you ever need to use that game.
That's true. And for
and
recording, but also
did that.
just to get a taste of it, and maybe you'll realize that, oh, this is something I really want to do soon.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And that kind of happened a couple of days ago when I just popped in out of the blue. I popped in Fist of the North Star, Lost Paradise, and it is incredible. I keep on coming back to it because it's completely over the top and ridiculous. And I was telling Tribe before the stream that I'm very big on games that, or just like media in general, where the main character is basically invincible. And Kenshiro is very much, at least at this point in the game, is very much basically invincible. I mean, it's one of the reasons I really like the Crow so much. It's one of my favorite movies.
How does that fascination translate to Superman?
Not really, because usually a lot of times, they put. Okay, so maybe I should rephrase it. I love media when the character is invincible and he knows it and he really exploits it.
Superman, yeah, that's not his thing so much.
Yeah, usually he's fighting somebody and he almost gets killed.
Yeah, they figure out a way. Superman is invincible, but you don't fight him without trying to make him not invincible. Oh, here's Lonely Rolling Star. Oh, I think this is the level where you can see the back of the CRT. I see it over there. I just got to get big enough to get over there.
Hey, we got Nick Mueller in the chat.
Oh, Nikolaus Mueller.
Thanks for coming to hang out this week. But yeah, I mean, that is one of my favorite things about the Crow is he's basically invincible until the very end. Oh, he is invincible.
I don't remember that movie well enough to remember why you say he's invincible. Like, what was he? I can't really remember what his thing is. Like, what is it? I don't quite remember.
What is his thing?
Yeah, what is his thing? What does he do that makes him invincible?
The Crow? Oh no, he just is brought back to life because he was killed in such a horrible way. Him and his fiance were killed, and he was brought back by they don't really exactly say, but the Crow is his guide through to avenge his and his fiance's life.
Okay, I don't.
You need to rewatch it because that movie is so good. I saw the movie in the theater the night that it came out, and is one of my favorite movies of all time. Tony Gallon saying I'm invincible. Well, towards the end when they found out, like the bad guys find out that if you kill the Crow, then he can die as well. So they do that, and he gets shot. He's like, the what's his face from Ghostbusters, Ernie Hudson, is like, I thought you were invincible. What's going on? He says, well, I was. I'm not anymore. But yeah, I mean, he gets shot up, and when he goes into the room with when it's like the big shootout, and he goes up on the table. He's like, I just want him.
Okay.
The one guy that he's after.
I lost my view of the CRT. I gotta get bigger.
Yeah, Fist of the North Star it's very much like that. Kenshiro is. I'm sure that at some point he's gonna meet his match, but I love the idea he just basically plows through everybody. You can still die in the cutscenes, or not in the cutscenes, but in the battles. But I don't want him I don't really want him to be humbled in any way during the story, if that makes sense. Our Blu-ray, which oh yeah, the game. I haven't seen the anime in a long time. And even at that, I think I saw an edited for TV version. I mean, is it readily available to purchase? So I kind of want to revisit it now. And does it have the old Streamline? I think Streamline was the one that originally released it. Oh, Azura. Sorry, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. What company do you work for? Oh, so I'm familiar. I know what One Punch Man is, but I've never seen it. I don't watch a lot of anime. I mean, I haven't watched it in a long time, so I'm very behind. I used to buy a lot on DVD back when DVD was pretty new and there wasn't a lot released on it, like in 1998. I used to go to a website, I don't know if it's still around, Anime on DVD. Well, Ash, I should definitely check it out because playing the game is making me want to revisit the series. I mean, like I said, I've only seen the movie that was on TV. Will Katamari Reroll be a MLiG Gaming episode? I don't know. Maybe one day. It's certainly not
best way to play the Katamari series.
Yeah, that could happen. I think that it's going to be a mention in at least for me, it's going to be in favorite games that I've played this year.
Oh yeah, sure.
Last year we did a games that we enjoyed in 2017, and we're very much we're doing the same thing again. But I think that we're also going to cover some wider array of things. Things
that maybe we didn't finish, or things we wish we put more time into, or
yes, things that we wanted to like, but we're kind of disappointed by.
Yeah.
And the thing I think sets our favorites of the year apart is the fact that
it's things we play. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
if it came out.
It doesn't matter when it came out.
Yeah. There might be some things from 2016 in there, or 1988.
Yep. Okay, so Anime on DVD is still around. It's called Fandom Post now. It's still run by the same guy. What was his name? Chris Beveridge.
Beveridge? That's a great name.
Yeah, that's a great last name.
I love it.
You got MB Team Comedy is saying, "Hey, I'm new. Well, thanks for joining us." This is the best song in the game. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I'm a big fan of like the version of the main theme that they've got on the last level, but this my let's back up here. Oh, this TV's got it's got like two. Wait a second, this is kind of weird. It's got like
you're getting all up in it.
It's got. I mean, it looks like it's probably got like a D terminal, but it's.
Yeah, that one surprised me.
Yeah, but it's also got like two yellows. Or is like the one above the yellow an S video? No, it just looks like two yellows.
Maybe we can do a video on just like CRTs and iconic CRTs in gaming. Any idea when we'll continue the next episode of the Sega Ages series? That is something that is constantly on my mind. We have something coming out soon that does address several of the Sega Ages, but it is not explicitly about them. But I want to do it. I want to do it. You know, it's we just kind of in general. I think we're overwhelmed. We're just trying to keep up. It is not. Oh, that's one of the Japanese toilets. I love the Japanese toilets. It's just like a little hole in the ground. But yeah, it's on my mind. I was thinking about it recently.
Run up on the clock.
They do an episode on Shin Godzilla Part 2. I don't know if we're gonna do an episode. We've never done an episode on the first one. Wait, although we did see that movie together.
Is Shin Godzilla 2 a movie?
Well, they are branching it out. I mean, I know that they were making another one, but now they're trying to do like kind of a bring in other monsters type thing. I don't think that they are doing a direct sequel like they were anticipating doing. Speaking of that, did you ever see the trailer for the new trailer for the Godzilla King of the Monsters?
The US one?
Yeah.
Like the one where like everything is bad?
Huh?
I mean like the world is like destroyed.
Yeah, there's a new trailer that came out this week.
Oh, no. I saw the first one.
Oh, you should. It didn't really show much. You should, after the stream, you should watch that trailer.
Okay. Yeah, it was like I was really surprised because it's like the third entry in the series. And it's like all of a sudden like everything is bad already.
Yeah. You should check it out. It looks pretty good. GameSat collab when Joe's been on our show a couple of times. You should check out the old Space Harrier episode that and he also made an appearance in the Sega on the Xbox episode. And he's made little cameos here and there. But it was
actually in the GameCube RGB 200 episode.
Yeah.
Which is kind of... Hopefully this episode kind of replaces it, the new one today.
Yeah.
And we're also in Joe's skit for his...
in the celebrity endorsed games.
Celebrity endorsed, yeah.
And the ending skit. A lot of people say it's the best ending skit that's ever been done. For GameSack.
There was no stream. There was no stream 1 week because of that skit.
That's true. That's very true.
Oops, I didn't mean to skip that.
Classic Game Room collab. I'm not sure if even knows we exist. Unfortunately,
I doubt we're quite on his radar.
Yeah.
I didn't remember the.
I think it'd be awesome. I would love to have him on the stream. I think that would be like so much fun to have him on the stream.
I didn't remember that like the progression of this game was such where it seems like you don't ever have to do the not make a star levels.
I don't know.
I haven't so far. Like I've gotten a new make a star level constantly.
Weren't we also involved with GameStack and Happy Console Gamer? In fact, actually, I'm going to be on the New Year's Eve or New Year's Day episode of Happy Console Gamer. If you remember last year, he did a conversation with Joe from GameStack talking about ease. Well, Johnny and I did the same thing this year, but we're talking about fantasy stuff. And I think it went really well. I mean, we talked for over an hour. I don't know what he's edited it down to, but I think that's either coming on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. So check that out. I think it went. Hopefully, I didn't embarrass myself. He told me I didn't embarrass myself. He said I think it went pretty well.
Picked up some takoyaki. I can never remember which one is chicken and which one is octopus or squid or whatever it is. Oh, I see a little squid tentacle in there. So takoyaki must be the squid. It's yakitori that's the chicken that we ate, right? That chicken joint.
Bubba Matt 812 is saying if a Metal Jesus collab is possible. I mean, if he asked us, I mean, if we ever found out anything that like that would make sense for him in our show, we certainly ask.
There's takoyaki growing from the bushes. Man, a lot of the giant, huge shrimps that I've been picking up here and there in this game have really been making me crave those. They had the biggest shrimps I've ever seen in Japan. I'll make them like that here.
But thank you for all the donations, Bubba Matt. Like last week too. You're just doling them out like crazy. Thank you. Yeah. Speaking of CGQ Plus has done streams with guests, I was on one 2 weeks ago, I think. So if you go to Classic Gaming Quarterly's extra channel for a side channel, CGQ Plus, we did a stream for like 2.5 hours, I think. Just talk about PS1 games.
What was he playing? He was playing something new, wasn't he?
He was playing the PS1 Classic.
Oh, that's right.
Which is down to $75 in most places today.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, well, Target has it for $75, and Best Buy and Amazon, if you buy it, you get a $25 gift card.
Wow.
Like I was kind of tempted to go to Target and get one.
Man, I mean they might get real low though.
I think so, yeah.
After Christmas, I bet they'll be like possibly well under 50 at that rate.
Yeah. Yeah, 75 it might be a little bit much, but I don't know. I don't know how far along the hacking is. As far as I know, that it's pretty might be close to being completely hacked, where you can just put your like whatever games you want on it.
Not that would really be that useful for us, honestly.
Well, did you see that video recently was saying that using a SNES Mini with the same emulator hacked onto it, it runs the games better than the emulator that it uses in general on the.
Wait, what emulator are we running on what?
It's like the.
Well,
the emulator, the
PlayStation emulator.
Yes.
Runs better on the SNES Classic hardware.
Yes. Yeah, PCSX rearm. That's right. For some reason I was thinking, I was about to say FCEUX. I was like, wait, that's the palette for the NES.
That's pretty funny. Which just goes to show there's no excuse for the thing being as expensive as it is.
Right. But I think currently to run games, they got to run off a flash drive, and you can't play two players that way because it has to be in the second controller.
This is pretty weird music. I don't remember this music.
Any episodes in the works for arcade PCB boards and games? We have a whole bunch of stuff shot for that.
Like 2 years
but it's been
ago.
kind of all over the place. Yeah, we shot it. It's definitely way out of date at this point. I mean, hopefully whenever we do it, we'll still be able to use some of that stuff. But there's definitely one planned. I don't know when it's going to happen. I personally have to get a new super gun, I believe.
Yeah. In a lot of ways, that the situation with that Super Guns episode was kind of what we
was lucky. Was lucky, I think, because I don't think that there was one that was like a perfect solution, but now I think that there's probably two that are a perfect solution. It's like the Haas and the Sentinel, I think, is the one that's coming out. I think is like they're both.
Yeah, I mean,
basically like the best solutions you can get.
Yeah, I mean, we ran into a similar challenge where we like got so far into that episode and we're like, oh, we kind of need to wait, finish this. Similar to what happened with the GameCube episode, but
on a much larger scale, I guess, much like longer time period.
Luckily, though, we were able to, resume that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But it's just that I guess my point is we like went into an episode thinking we were ready to do it, and then it's like, oh, maybe not.
But that was a long time ago. I mean, that was
that
was over 2 years ago.
That was the first time
you came and visited here.
I visited your house, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, check out that guy's hair. I forgot.
Oh, is it the guy with the
like the crazy long pompadour or whatever you call it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that guy.
We're gonna stream Lunar on PS1. I could see maybe doing that on our Twitch channel. That's not something we do on our Sunday night live stream. We try to avoid games where you really got to pay attention for these streams.
Yeah, because we try to be somewhat interactive on these streams. On the Twitch streams, we just don't care.
Yeah, it's more casual, and we don't feel it doesn't have to be as intense. Usually on the Twitch streams, we're both kind of working on stuff. One of us is playing, the other one's working on something. Maybe I think that back, gosh, you were playing through Bomberman, and I was recording Adventure Island stuff. So in the little monitor where I'm at, I was streaming a second game that I was recording.
Maybe we can do some streams this week.
I think so. I mean, I would love to get back to Monster Boy.
Oh yeah.
But we don't really. I don't know if we need to do that. But I started exporting those to the channel, so they're on a separate playlist.
Oh, that's right.
On the front of the channel, and I'm numbering them sequentially. So if we play through a game, they'll be numbered in a way that you can watch the whole thing from beginning to end.
Yeah, Bomberman Heroes started on this stream. Then we resumed it on the casual streams.
Oh, that's right, Smoke Monster. I didn't know if I should say anything about it, but I'm definitely super excited about that. I mean, if he needs any information or anything from me, or wanted to talk with me about it, like, I am absolutely open, because I would love to, when it comes time to do that episode, I'd love to just talk to him in general. Is he based in the U.S.? RGB?
Who is RGB?
RGB is the guy. He's the guy who makes the HAS.
Did he just go by
Hallmark
RGB?
base. Yeah, I mean that's what he's known as on forums, at least. I'll be sure to make sure that that's what he wants to be called when we do a video. Oh, he's in Europe. Okay. Sony's new censorship. Their new policy. I've heard about certain games getting censored in various ways. It's not something I've really put a lot of thought into. But so did they specifically say what their policy is? Yeah, try play through Bomberman. I recorded Adventure Island, and I played the beginning of Monster Boy in a stream, right when it came out. But I've already beat Monster Boy. But I like the idea of being able to stream stuff that maybe we can make progress on our backlog with.
We did. We played Bomberman Hero on this stream, but then I continued it on the casual Twitch stuff.
So Sony said that their policy is their new censorship policy is policy of no anime boobs. Well, I guess they're gonna have to change the cover for SNK if it ever comes out on there.
Wow, I mean,
I'm kidding.
I'm assuming there is a higher threshold.
I don't know. It's it doesn't drive me nuts, I guess, like it does some people. If I want a game, I'm gonna buy it anyways. I mean, I think I talked about this. At least I talked about this recently. I think I talked about this with Johnny when we were doing the Fantasy Star thing. Is that for the most part, bad game translations don't bother me because I think I grew up reading translations like the ones that Fantasy Star has, where it's clearly not done by someone who natively speaks English.
Yeah. I mean, you know what's crazy?
Like the Ease 8 translation, you know, it was a big deal that they had to retranslate it, but I had almost no problem at all with the original translation.
What's kind of crazy to me is like I never really thought like I evolved in terms of like you know, reading and writing competency between like high school and college or now, but
we got a really quick. We got a donation of, I don't know what the currency is, CLP. It's 1,000 CLP.
Well, thank you.
From Jorge Lyon. Says, hi guys, saw the GC video. How about S video plus Retro Tank?
The S video shots in the episode, there's only a few of them, but that is Retro Tank, and I actually really like how the Retro Tank handles 480i. I definitely recommend. The only reason I didn't mention the Retro Tank by name in the episode, and someone asked like, hey, why didn't you compare Retro Tank to OSSC? And the reason was because you can't take 480p into the Retro Tank, and I thought it just didn't make any sense to compare them, because then like one would have to be in 480i and one would be in 480p, and I didn't feel that's just not what it was about to me, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, certainly when it comes to comparisons, we try to do as many as we can, but sometimes there's just stuff we never even think about.
Yeah, like, you know, people were asking about like, hey, about HDMI to VGA to OSSC. That's a good idea.
Yeah, or even why like you should have maybe like compared certain like versions of games, like, you know, like a PS2 versus Xbox, or Xbox versus GameCube version of a game in 480p.
Yeah, I mean, that's always fun. I could have done that with Soul Calibur, you know, but I didn't think of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
The thing is, Soul Calibur actually looked really good. I had a hard time finding, other than the Namco logo in that, like, I had a hard time seeing, like, really obvious, like, those... I don't know if I necessarily want to say it's chroma subsampling errors or issues or whatever. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but it kind of looks like it. Soul Calibur actually masked it very well. So I don't know if you would see a big difference with Xbox. But yeah, if you just look early in the video, there's like a Metroid Prime. Like the very first comparison is like, I think it's Captain Falcon with Composite versus S Video. Those are both Retro Tank. There's another one that's Metroid Prime, this Composite S Video, and Component on the OSSC because it's 480p. But the S Video is Retro Tank there. And then there's a few other shots where I'm just talking about S Video, like maybe two other shots that I think like Mega Man Battle Network, which is a game that I technically removed from my collection. I deleted it, so it's not on my shelf. It's upstairs. I just haven't quite gotten rid of it
yet. Sam L. Awami with the $1 question. Hi guys, no geometry episode yet? I know.
You know, the text boxes that the King of all Cosmos has here is actually a very similar color to the text boxes we've started using.
Mm-hmm.
Not this
I did see
gray one here, but the bluish one.
I saw Nick Mueller asked earlier. Says, why not just use an emulator? And it's true. You know, my favorite thing is and we got a comment like this, is when people say that, when they comment that on a video, but they always put the or it's got to have the or
you could
it's like,
just emulate.
Yeah. Or you can just, or it's got to have that on there.
And like, I was so proud of myself for finding a way to acknowledge Dolphin kind of seamlessly in this video, where I'm like, look, if you like, you gotta keep in mind, it's not gonna look like HD remasters. It's not gonna look like the Dolphin emulator. It's not. But I made the point in the same sense that if you want to play on original hardware, that's the thing. Like some people that's important, to some people that's not, and that's okay. That's okay. I don't have a problem with emulation.
Is
people
your phone
who
ringing?
like to use emulators, huh?
Is your phone ringing?
No,
I thought I was hearing a phone ringing.
I don't think so. It might have been the music. I don't know. I don't remember this music either. Like, I only played through the whole game once, but
what's the game?
I certainly have booted up levels often, just to play or record a little bit.
Let's look at the if people enjoyed Try's appearance on the Digital Foundry episode today as well, which was like kind of a happy accident. You recorded that when, on Wednesday?
I thought it was Monday, maybe.
It might have been Monday.
I think it was Monday. Unfortunately, I guess I should have realized it because I knew John was trying to get several things done. I should have realized that they were kind of banking it, to spread out the releases.
Right.
But I worded it as if it would be out like a few days later. But oh well. I certainly thought I was going to be releasing before Sunday.
We got a $5 donation from Retro Panther. I love that name. Retro Panther. It says, would you say the PS2 Fat runs PS1 games the best via component? I've heard it doesn't use emulation like the Slim or PS3.
The very, very first Slim, I think it's 7000 series.
Yeah, that one uses.
That one uses apparently as far as I know, it uses the exact same chips as the immediately preceding Fat model, just on a condensed mode.
Which was like the 55.
After that, they start sort of. I don't think it would be accurate to say it's emulation, but certain chips are consolidated. Certain aspects are emulated. As far as I thought, the only thing that it specifically becomes emulation now, I don't think it's until like the very last revision, is the main chip that operates PS1 stuff, which can be used for some functions for PS2 games, but in general, I wouldn't characterize it as emulation for, certainly not for PS2 stuff, as far as I understand it. But as far as fat models go, but basically everything except the last Slim, I think you can still consider mostly original hardware, but they do change some characteristics of the hardware. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, no more than like the first PS3s are changed, I don't think.
But anyways, if you like kind of a team up with Digital Foundry and us, then I'm guessing that John will probably be on our stream either. I'm guessing it's probably going to be the 6th at this rate, probably January 6th, because it turns out that when he goes back to the U.S. to visit family, he is in the same town as me. So we totally coincidence. I still laugh about it. But yeah, I mean, he usually comes over, and we the past 2 years we've done live streams where we've compared 2 different versions of games. The first year we did a Symphony of the Night PS1 versus Saturn, and last year we did Sonic Adventure Dreamcast versus GameCube. So I'm guessing that is going to be probably January 6th is when we'll do that live stream, when he'll come over.
Have you picked a game yet?
No, I put a thing on the community tab about it, saying what would people like to see, and there's definitely some good suggestions. I'm still not sure yet. I'll tell you one thing: we're definitely not doing Katamari.
Why is that? Oh, I guess we're playing it now.
Yeah.
I mean, I doubt there's like any serious technology to examine here anyway.
Well, he said this whole thing was ported in Unity.
Yeah, which that is interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I think he said that there's like no original game code left. And I've noticed some effects like some screen space ambient occlusion behind the objects and stuff.
But yeah, John will be here for that. It's always a pleasure to see him.
I think I'll probably.
But if you're interested in that kind of thing,
time too, but we haven't really decided when or what we'll do.
Right. I mean, we definitely gotta discuss it. We might be able to do, if you were here at the same time.
We could do a 3-way.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Some hot 3-way action live on stream.
Oh, I got a treasure chest. Where'd that come from? I'm at a gas station.
There's if you go through our the archive of our streams, if you go to the front page of the channel, you'll see a playlist that has all of our previous streams on it, and there's something like, gosh, it's got like 160 something on there, I think now. And if you look through there, you'll see John is on the Symphony of the Night. There's one where he's on Skype too. So he was on like 2 weeks in a row, like back in.
Who was on? Oh, it was when the one where
when I had to shoot that Christmas concert.
Yeah, and I really failed at streaming Shadow of the Colossus, because remember at that time, like, there was a long time where you did most of the streaming, because for some reason my internet just did not play nice with YouTube.
Yeah,
and I was trying to play Shadow of the Colossus, and I was like so frustrated by the internet problems, and John could just barely see it, and I was like playing really terribly.
That's when I played the Data East collection, I think, when I made it back in time.
Oh, I don't even remember what you played. I just remember I really failed to play Shadow of the Colossus.
But then we did Symphony of the Night after that. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, I think it's fun. I mean, John schools me at least every time about it. So it's best internet provider episode. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Cincinnati Bell for now. I think that's my answer.
I mean, so you're one of the few people who would actually recommend their own internet?
Well, no, I feel like it's them or Spectrum, or it's Time Warner. Time Warner, I think, is Spectrum.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Spectrum now. Which,
yeah, I kind of felt that, like, I felt it was important to support the locally owned.
Oh, sure. I mean, my parents are in the same situation, but I don't have that really.
Right.
Not in any way that's viable anyway. Yeah, but I mean, Spectrum, most of the time I'm happy enough with them, but then when I'm not happy, I'm really not happy.
We got pip 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 beep 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 is here from China, saying greetings from China.
Oh.
P-I-P-I-P-I-P-I. Beep 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 beep.
Is
Well,
like
welcome.
what was it? What was that from? Wasn't it the was it the Bionic Commando Rearmed?
Oh yeah, somebody says that.
Yeah, there's like a boss or something that goes beep 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 beep.
Yep, it's like the robot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got the Spirit of Sorrow statue.
But I
Turn
really
gold.
like the I like Cincinnati Bell. I think that they are very, very good, and I have really fast optics to them for a very low price.
Didn't
And they recently gave me a boost, like a 50 megabit boost
didn't they
for nothing.
Oh yeah, I believe me, I'd absolutely be doing something like that if I had the option. But I
Well,
can't do
yeah,
it.
they called me and said, we realize that you might be paying too much for your bill. I'll see if I can. And then after that person upgraded my bill, or lowered my bill rather, and upgraded my speed, I got a thank you email, and that thank you email says, do you work on that internet show? I'm serious.
That internet show?
No, it wasn't. It was like, are you Coury that does the YouTube show? It's like, I know this might sound weird, but that happened. That happened. I don't know if that's why I got my deal. Hope that was not because it's not what they said. I could dig up the email, but it was like essentially saying like, are you Coury from does the YouTube show My Life in Gaming?
Didn't you get a someone who came to the house to do service say something like did you know that they made these boxes out of the same material as the Super Nintendo? That's why it's yellow. Something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, they happened, and I'm like, oh, I know what you're talking about.
I was
I'm Coury from the award-winning DS game. There was a comment today that says Coury in the house, and for your information, I do own Coury in the house on DS. It showed up one day in my PO box with a note, with a sticky note on it that says, "How bad could it be?"
Oh, I think I might have to make some special stars now. I'm not seeing the next Make a Star.
So I guess that they did get rid of the English dub in this.
Wait.
I forgot that it
Voices?
Yeah, I guess it did have an English dub. And now that I think about it, it's true.
Was it just like the Human Family or something?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't really care.
I don't know who would send that to me, Austin 532. I don't know who sent that. Only people that have the number 532 in their internet screen name. Is that even like a? I feel like I am.
Is screen name like a word still?
Yeah, people use that. People use screen names. Sometimes
handle? I feel like maybe
I don't know.
handle
Sometimes I use internet handle. I don't know if that makes me sound.
Internet handle.
Yeah, that's
that you use on the onlines.
Yeah, I don't know if that is even what people say anymore, but whatever. You know what? I'm gonna be 40 in 10 days. So there.
You can get away with saying some dad stuff.
Yeah.
For some reason, that reminded me of the GIF that John used at the end of his Ark Survival on Switch video, which is a hilarious video if anyone has not watched it. I have no interest in that game, and John doesn't either, so he made it very funny.
What is my ICQ number? I don't know. I could probably find that information if you wanted me to. I can't see the word the letters ICQ without thinking about, uh-oh. Did you ever use ICQ, or were you too young?
No, I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
All right, it was like an instant messenger service. You just had a number.
Ah.
And every time you'd get a message, it would go, uh-oh, uh-oh.
Could you change it?
Yeah.
Boy, this crab has a bunch of shoes on.
The days of using ICQ and downloading ripped PS1 games using bulletproof FTP. I'd also download MP3s, where I'd have to download an album overnight.
The only thing about Katamari that makes me sad is that I find it difficult to use its music in a video because of, you know, how much vocals are in it. Like, I feel like it doesn't. I mean, it can work, but I'm always sort of afraid to use vocal tracks in videos just because I feel it conflicts with the voice too much.
Oh, the old school IRC chat rooms. I spent a lot of time in IRC chat rooms when I was in college. Mainly, I'd only chat in the Game Fan Tavern. Yeah, where all the staff people from Game Fan Magazine hung out. The GF Tavern.
Where they just hung out with the commoners like you.
Yeah, that's how I got to play Quake 2 with them one time. I got to play Quake 2 with Dango Head.
Dango Head?
Yeah. I saw someone say bullet. Is it Retro Morgan says bulletproof, bulletproof FTP. Yes. I remember. For some reason, it's something basically the only thing I remember. It's one of two things I remember from it changing over to the year 2000. You know, because so much was being made about Y2K, and I remember my friend Justin, you know, Matt's older brother, was laying on the ground, and he was extremely drunk, saying bulletproof FTP isn't gonna work anymore. Because we thought that, you know, the Y2K bug was gonna make it so that bulletproof FTP doesn't work anymore. And this was why my girlfriend at the time was throwing up in a shopping bag at the same time.
You have very vivid memory of this situation of concern about bulletproof FTP.
Like in a shopping bag, but it had a hole in it. like the corner was ripped out. Oh well. I was fighting Eggman at the end of Sonic Adventure when the ball dropped on Y2K. Throwing up in a shopping bag, we've all been there before. That's like one of the main things that I remember about her is throwing up in that shopping bag. There's one other time where I remember I was on St. Patrick's Day where she got so drunk and she threw up, and it was just like this, just this pile of corned beef. And she was like, threw up, it was like on the floor.
They look like corned beef that you could just eat?
Yeah, it's corned beef. It's just like a pile of corned beef. And I don't know, I just remember going like, I'm so sorry I made a mistake.
Was corned beef a mistake?
I guess so. I don't know. I remember that, but yep.
Look, I'm kind of running out of things to collect in this space.
At that point, it's considered Corby's hash. That's correct. What's on the? Oh, it's you on the TV.
Yeah.
What you're playing is on the TV. Oh, I missed Johnny's his live stream today. How'd it go? With the donations rolling in like mad. The first time he streamed, it was insane. I've never seen anything like it with a donation.
The timer in this level is way too long. Like, I'm definitely crabbed out.
Mad donations. I mean, the first time he did it, I mean, he like made like $5,000 in donations.
What? No.
I think it might. I think part of me wants to say he made $8,000.
No.
I am totally serious.
That's impossible.
It was his first live stream ever. He made a video announcing it, and it was his first live stream ever. And then it was just the chat was moving so fast.
I can't even comprehend.
It was like somewhere between $4,000 and $8,000 that he made in donations during that stream.
I can't process it.
It was insane. It was crazy. Yeah, I've never seen anything like that. But I mean, being its first stream, it was all these people saying like, "Here's for 10 years of entertainment and videos," because he's been doing it for 10 years.
Mm.
I'm excited for people to see the fantasy stuff he did though. It was a lot of fun. Johnny Millennium, happy console gamer. He was trying to read every super chat possible and was delaying the entire show so much that he had to give up.
Well, that's why it's helpful for us to both be on the stream.
Exactly. Okay, you're officially further than I made it today.
Oh, so you actually played a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I played until that last level. %.
Well, I mean, I played all the Make a Star levels, and then, like, it seemed like I can't.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I did.
So you played all the Make a Star levels.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I mean, I made it decently far in the amount of time. It's not a super long game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I do these constellation levels, then maybe I'll get Make a Moon, and I don't know. Maybe I can finish. I kind of wasn't expecting to, but now I feel like I could.
Oh, you won't be able to finish it tonight during the stream.
Maybe not.
So this week we got to record for our favorite games. That's nice and easy though. We can like write it and record it at the same time. I think that's what I'm planning on doing. I recorded a whole bunch already, but
yeah. I mean, I haven't even looked at my backloggery history to get an idea of what is going to be on the list.
I'm excited though. It's going to be very, very casual. Hopefully, it's not disappointing for everybody that that has been enjoying the last several episodes. More of a holy cow! We got a $99 donation.
What?
From our good friend Scott Davis.
Good old Scott Davis.
Happy holidays, fellas, and looking forward to 2019. Question for the coming year: have you all researched gaming cinema projector tech? Start throwing short throw, pixel shifting, input lag, and all that jazz. Do you dare enter that rabbit hole for my life in gaming? For me, I have no idea where I'd even set it up.
I mean, I would I've long been tempted to try.
I mean, you have an extra room. You probably could set it up someplace.
Well,
for sure. I don't have a Surface or anything like that.
I mean, honestly, what I'd probably do is, if I ever did get a projector, I'd probably take it to my parents' house, because there's a room there, which is where I normally if I go over there and bring like a game system, I play in there, and it's got no windows, so it would be like perfect for it. Yeah. I've definitely been tempted, but I just haven't made the dive yet. You know, you can actually get that Goodwill store I've got, the Grid. I mean, they usually have some basic projectors. I mean, I definitely don't think they would be like ideal projectors or anything, but it might be fun to get one just to get started, you know?
Yeah, just to see what it's like. Man, thank you so much. That is insane.
Yeah,
thank you.
Very, very generous. I could have bought a lot of pizzas in San Francisco, man. Well, maybe about 3.
Yeah. That's how many we got, right? Or did we get 2?
I think we got 3.
Yeah, and it was like $100.
It was like $100. Gosh, it was. I know you're a stuck-up New York pizza man, but I gotta say it might have been the best pizza I ever had in my life.
Well, I like Newport pizza. Like Newport.
Well, Newport pizza is based on New York pizza.
That's true. Katamari Forever is that the one that came to 360 first, or no? That's Beautiful. Yeah. He's saying for PS3.
Did Beautiful Katamari ever? That was 360, right? Beautiful Katamari.
360. I think Beautiful Katamari is the one that I got at Goodwill recently.
That's 360, right? Or, well, is there one that never got ported to PS3 and was only on 360? I know there was one that released first on 360.
Mitch B is saying I got an old projector from a friend's office building that has digital RGB in, plugging in an Arcade Forge Sync Strike into it. 240p content looks fantastic. I have a Sync Strike, so if you got one.
Yeah, I mean, some VGA stuff could definitely be viable on just like a basic business projector, I guess. You know, I mean, now that you've said that, you know, maybe next time I'm at the Grid, if they've still got some of those projectors, maybe I'll grab one. It would be a fun thing just to get started on, you know, because I've always kind of thought like that room at my parents' house would be really fun to experiment with projectors in.
Yeah.
So
we got a $5 donation from Josco50 saying, "Are you guys gonna be at MagFest again?" We did not make any attempt to go to MagFest this year. Yeah. We didn't last year either. It's kind of a conscious decision. Thank you for. I mean, like we should actually like. We want to do more conventions. We've been talking to somebody. We are already. We are going to be going to a convention. I don't know if we're allowed to say what it is yet. But if you want to see us at any conventions, like let them know.
Yeah. Yeah, we should go back to MagFest someday for sure. I feel like we got a little burned out on MagFest, I guess.
Yeah, it's so much more difficult if you can't really stay in the hotel.
Yeah,
it loses a lot of its appeal, I think. And we went for we must have gone for
maybe 5 years in a row.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But
It was before the channel really took off.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, we went several years before we even started the channel.
Oh yeah. I mean, the first time we met in person was at MagFest.
Yeah.
And that was before we. You know, that was when we were. I remember, like, because I didn't really know what to expect from the vendors there, and I was like, oh man, like, you know, I wonder if one of them might have that Framemeister thing. Like, if someone has a Framemeister in person, we get to see it. Like, we're probably gonna buy one. That's gonna be a lot of money.
Yeah. Yep, that's true. But yeah, I mean, there's like we've committed to a convention, but I mean, we might be hitting a place where we might be asked to do more. I mean, I'm excited.
This was a light convention year for us. In fact, we only did Retro World, right?
Yep. Well, we were gonna go to too many games, but we weren't guests at too many games.
Right. I mean,
but
I would like to go to too many games. You know, I think
that we will.
Honestly,
we'll
it was just. I mean, it was a last minute cancellation because of Japan.
Right.
Which was very, very worth it. Sad we did not go to too many games, but it was. I bought more too many games in Japan than I would have at too many games. That's for sure. We got to do too many games with Jimmy Hoppa.
Yes.
While eating curry and chicken kebabs and what was it? It was like Hungarian pita sandwiches or something.
Best game, Persian Yank is saying the best game convention in our opinion.
Wait, say what?
I mean, what do we feel is the best game convention?
I mean, the ones the
ones with all your friends at it.
Yes, there you go. That's
I mean, you think back to that first MagFest. That first MagFest was just like
incredible.
It was mind blowing.
I mean, the first two really.
Yes, but that
then,
first one especially.
I feel like there were a lot of circumstances. I think it was the last MagFest we went to. There were a lot of circumstances where a number of, you know, our friends that we'd been meeting up with just couldn't make it that year.
Yeah,
and it really just made the whole thing just. It was the first year where it felt like a downgrade from the previous year, you know?
Yes.
And it just really made us like not as nearly as interested in going back the next year. And it feels like at this point, it almost feels like it could be very difficult to like get the old crew back on board like that again, you know? Like,
yeah, I'm not sure how easy that would be.
It would be difficult, I feel, but it would be awesome. But like, you know, outside of those awesome times at MagFest, like, I mean, I would say Too Many Games and Retro World Expo have been the ones we've had the most fun at. A big distinction between MagFest and you know, conventions like Retro World or Missouri or Too Many Games is, you know, those conventions have a lot of vendors selling actual games, and MagFest does not. You know, usually MagFest has like a few good game vendors, but it's a lot of, you know, crafts and stuff, which is awesome, and I like to buy those every now and then, but I find myself just always drawn to the games, you know. I want the games. So you will be disappointed in MagFest if you're itching to buy some games.
Yes.
Retro World and Too Many Games definitely provides in that regard for sure.
Right. But that first year that we went, I bought a whole bunch of good stuff.
The first year we went, I actually only bought 3 things.
Yeah, because you were very adamant about not adding to your backlog.
Yeah. I bought
all those.
Yeah, I bought Dragon Warrior 2 and 3. And I bought the Mario Galaxy. Huh?
Like the last hour of the convention.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like really waiting it out. And I got the Mario Galaxy 2 soundtrack for a pretty good deal. Which I mean was something I always wanted to get, but I kind of missed my window to get it online very easily. I have no idea how many fish I actually have to get for this to count.
So many fish.
Is picking up a fish statue count? I don't think I can pick them up right now.
But you can pick up more, so you can easily pick up more fish easily.
Oh, look at all these fish. I'm still not big enough for these fish? Come on.
Vidman is saying, had to stop in to say, great job on the latest episode.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was very difficult.
Yeah.
Very difficult. Like the one that you always used to bring up was the Switchers episode. You're like, oh, was this bad Switchers? And the answer was always, nah. Now it's definitely gonna be, well, was it as tough as GameCube update? I mean, that's not what we called it on the video, but that's what we kept calling it while we were making it. Was like, is it the GameCube update video? Yeah. Ooh, fish statues do count. Oh, more of them.
Is Michael still alive? I missed it. I don't know. That's Nick is saying, is Michael still alive? I don't know if I missed something earlier.
Oh, I think he is referring to other GC video projects.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Oh, we got a $5 donation from Games and Broadcast.
Oh.
Thank you. There's no comment.
Games and Broadcast.
Yeah. That sounds like something. I mean, I think the Games and Broadcast is a Patreon. I recognize that name from Patreon emails. But I mean, we have no idea what's happening with any of the Badass Console mod or the GC video stuff. We originally were planning on waiting for this video for that to come out, but there hasn't been any news on it for a long time, so we just felt
we just went with what we've got access to now.
Exactly. So, I mean, there was plenty of times where we said, we're going to wait for it, but we waited a long time. Are you still playing this with motion controls?
No, like I gave it up really quickly. I wanted to do it, but I don't know if it was just like I needed to like hold it differently to like calibrate. There was no like calibration or like, centering it to know like what is up and down. I couldn't figure it out either. I eventually like got it like turning the side that snaps onto the switch, turning that toward the TV seemed to kind of work, although that doesn't really make sense because how does it know which direction I'm holding? But it wasn't working out for me. It definitely seemed like I could. I mean, I was thinking like, motion controls will be. I think motion controls will be fun because I mean, Katamari doesn't have to be accurate. Ooh, Mega Star 7 appeared. let's do Make a Star 7 and finish with that.
Okay. Seems the Jeep Comp Switch won't be ready for a while. That's the 2 output one, right?
I'm frothing at the mouth for that.
I actually just removed my impact component switch from my setup. Because I had an extra Extron laying around, so I switched over to just using that for the time being.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely better than that.
Not that the impact switch is great, really.
I mean it's not bad, but it does lose.
Well.
I mean, it definitely loses some sharpness and a little bit of brightness. I mean, it's not much.
Yeah, unless you're really.
I mean, but it's enough to where we should try to take them out of the setup. I mean, honestly, my earlier SCART kind of does something a little bit similar, not as much as the Impact did, but it does very slightly soften and darken it. And most of the time it doesn't even matter, but it's kind of bitten me a few times where I've made component comparisons that way. And people are like, oh, I think component might be a little bit sharper. And I'm like, no, I just kind of screwed up. I did everything in this episode. Like, I mean, since most of the comparisons in this episode were component, it wouldn't really matter because there's no visible sharpness loss on the G-Comp.
Right.
But just because the G-Comp only has 4 inputs, and it just would have been really a pain to like just keep accessing it, to try different things. I did everything in this episode was a direct connection to the OSSC, just because it was just much easier to do it that way this time. Even though, I mean, it wasn't easy, but it was easier than reaching for the G-Comp all the time, because it's kind of not super accessible. I could like connect one of those HD Retrovision component extension cables.
Yeah,
to the bigger G-Comp whenever that happens, and then man, I'll be set. I'll be set. I can just plug something into that anytime.
Tony, you can do whatever you want. We're not gonna be offended if you leave there. You can always watch the archive tomorrow. I usually put it up around 9 a.m. Eastern.
You're very consistent about.
I've gotten a lot better with doing it because I put it on my calendar, so it's like, okay, do this Monday morning, and then I always pull it down. And there isn't, if you're interested in such a thing and you don't have enough time to watch and sit through the stream, if you like commute a lot, there is a download a podcast version that I post as well. It's just an audio only version.
I'm not sure how interesting that would be, but hey, maybe.
But it actually like a lot of like
some streams, episode, yes, others not. I mean, tonight has been very conversational. Hasn't been a whole lot of talk about the game itself.
Right. Like last week, it was kind of about the seeing the Dreamcast footage. Like was a big part of the appeal. But something like today's, I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But that is posted. Talking. You can look us up like on iTunes and Podbean. You can find them on there. And yeah, I mean, they actually each one gets like 200-300 downloads. Believe it or not.
The audio only ones.
Yeah, it's like 200-300 downloads.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I
would have expected more like double digits. Middling double digits.
We got Smash Switch in the chat saying hi. I'm new here. Well, welcome. Thanks for joining. Oh, look at those! Those Pompadours. There's some serious. Put somebody's eye out with those.
I wonder if Pompadours were big in Japan.
Kind of, I guess. So what do you think? There was kind of some stuff going around about the Smash DLC leak I don't know if it's like actually true or not.
I mean, Erdrick was the only thing I heard about.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, how awesome would it be to have Dragon
I
Quest?
mean, I was really just thinking the other day, like, if you're going to call this Smash Ultimate and a Dragon Quest character never makes it to Smash, that's going to be kind of wrong.
Yeah. Oh, Scott Davis said, I'll look up that the HDMI switcher model 550BN. It's a 4K 60, 18 gigabit per second HDMI switcher.
Wait, what are we talking about?
And he's just like, he's recommending it. Just an HDMI, a Kenevo HDMI switch that's 4K 60.
I might need to get an extra HDMI switcher soon. It wouldn't necessarily have to be like 18 gigabits or anything like that.
You should just get to future-proof yourself. Though. I mean,
sure. But I mean, for some basic stuff. Although I was thinking I was going to connect the like for now I'm switching to using the GCHD Mark II component output because I mean it is better than the official component.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to like hook up HDMI to it at the same time, but I think I'll just hook up HDMI to as I need it, like for capture, because or if I need to capture HDMI, I might just capture upstairs with the car beam.
Right.
Because I mean I'm not planning to use HDMI as my regular go-to because of what you can do with the OSSC. Although that VGA thing is an interesting idea. I mean, I guess there's no low-pass filter on the VGA input on the OSSC. I don't know if that would potentially be a negative factor.
I see people are talking about putting Bill Reiser in Smash. Like that's another good one.
Yeah, I was thinking about Contra the other day, like well Drum and I were talking, like I was I feel like with having Belmonts in Smash, like that's like the last thing that was like really missing. I mean, especially in terms of third-party stuff, like, you know, Waluigi is still missing. It really makes no sense, I think, that Waluigi is not in there. But, I think the Belmonts were the last really disappointing thing to not have in Wii U. Like Mega Man, you know, almost made it complete, but I not having a Castlevania representation was kind of wrong.
But so, I think, you know, Dragon Quest, I think
Dragon Quest, now that I think about it, is definitely a big missing thing. So
yes. Yeah, I mean, it would be incredible if that's who ends up being.
And they better call him Erdrick too.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, because it is canon. I mean, at least in the U.S. translation, they kept that as canon.
No, I think the 5 DLC packs. It's only 5 more characters. I think probably.
By the way, did you hear that I don't know if there's like a limited time to redeem it or something, but you like have to redeem a code that you get in the email to like lock into.
Oh yeah, I did that. But
okay.
you
I haven't done the code yet actually, but I did.
But you got the code. You registered your cartridge.
I saw the email, yeah, but I have not. I have not done.
Yeah, I did it yesterday. It would be cool if it was 25. I mean, because that'd be 100 characters in the game. I think that 80 is what they're called. 80 characters is a ton.
Yeah, like, I mean, has there ever been a fighting game with that many characters? I mean, it would be kind of hard to fathom.
I mean, the closest thing has to be Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Does it have more than...
I think that Marvel vs. Capcom 2 has 56 characters in it.
Oh, wow. What was the new Marvel vs. Capcom called? Like, that fell pretty flat, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Infinite. Yeah, it just kind of disappeared.
Like, I don't know much about
like,
why it was
like it as
disappointing.
much.
Yeah, it just seems like that went nowhere. I think people kind of turned on it, like, from before it released. Like, wasn't there a big deal about how, like, Chun-Li looked really weird at E3 or something? But they fixed her, I think.
In a demo, I think it was. She looked weird, like her eyes were weird. That's true. As someone was saying, Phantom Knot is saying the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 only has 8 characters because those are the only ones that people use because they're the best. But that was kind of the first one to take every single character they had in previous games and throw them in. I guess the console versions of Alpha 3 kind of did something similar.
I've ended up a little closer to the time limit than I expected I would be in a lot of situations. You know, just having like 1 or 2 minutes left at the end.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, is there any other characters that you wish was in it?
I mean, I'm sure I could think of some. I mean, in terms of Nintendo characters, I feel like, other than Waluigi, I feel like there's no, like, major...
Yeah.
Nothing, like, super major
like,
missing.
Like, series that you... I mean, it doesn't even... I mean, Persona isn't associated with Nintendo platforms.
Yeah, I mean, I have a little bit of weird feelings about characters in Smash that don't have strong Nintendo associations, like... Cloud is a little weird. I mean, yeah, you can make excuses for Cloud being there. I mean, and I guess Final Fantasy VII is coming to Switch, but
yeah, you know who Jeff O in the chat wants in Smash?
Oh,
Jeff O. I assume that this is what it was referring to, but if not, I'm just gonna go with it because I think it's funny anyways. Is that Jeff O really wants John Lennon from DF Retro? Smash.
I mean, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, we got a $2 donation from 67H. Thanks for the video, guys. Is there a Patreon? There is a Patreon. It is just look up My Life in Gaming on Patreon. It's Patreon.com/MYLIFEINGAMING. All is one word. It's pretty impressive. I just said it all off. Yep. And we have a ton of exclusive content. We have 41 exclusive videos on it.
I mean, keep in mind they're all like pretty lightweight editing, very.
They very much are, but they're
yeah, I mean, they're interesting things that we're like, hey, we just want to look at this.
Yeah, it's pretty laid back. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we just
do another? Or...
You can do one more, I think. As long as it's not like a 20-minute level. I think it won't.
Let's see.
But thank you for the donation.
Oh, there's Make a Star 8. I'll do Make a Star. I mean, I just like doing the Make a Star.
What are they mostly about? Let me bring up the playlist here. We also have a Discord for patrons as well. let's see. So this past week, I did a video log where I just kind of went through the menu of the Dreamcast HDMI, and it's just a bunch of raw capture. Last week, we did a thing where it was a video that we shot back in July. We're out with Mike Micah, who runs Digital Eclipse in his basement, and he has all this really crazy game stuff down there. It's an hour and 11-minute video. Oh, we got a $2 donation from Hyboria, who says, since Namco helps with Smash Brothers, we need the print. That would be would make sense.
That would actually be. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, I feel like he's too small. But if he always has a Katamari,
maybe that's what this re-release is kind of leading up to.
I mean, maybe.
The week before that, I went through a bunch of my old concert tickets, which was kind of something different. It's not game related.
You're in a much better groove with them than I am. I feel like
I don't know about that.
I've never every time I finish mine, since we're doing them kind of casually, I have never felt too confident in how I've talked about whatever. Although I've got two that I really want to do that I'll probably I might even record them tomorrow. I've got the Dragon Quest art book that just came out and the Mario Encyclopedia, and I haven't even looked at them yet. I mean, I just very, very briefly opened one page in the Dragon Quest book. I just kind of just want to, I mean, not look through the whole thing, but just kind of glance through them and talk about them. And I think that will be just a very easy thing to do and be fun to look through.
And you in that same the video logs are usually 30 to however long. I mean, they're usually well over 20 minutes. But they're like we said, they're very off the cuff. Just kind of practice for us to hang out and talk without having any kind of teleprompter in the scene. But you did you modded your GameCube controller to put a regular sized analog stick in for the C stick.
Yeah, and then I actually reversed it today.
Put it back, you mean?
Yeah. I didn't totally reverse the mod. Basically what I did was there were some complications because I had to sort of grind some plastic on the inside of the controller shell, which I didn't really have to, didn't really expect. But I decided I bought a new controller that they released for Smash, and I took the new board and the new clean buttons and put them inside. I put the top shell of an old Indigo controller, and I also took the shoulder button mechanisms from a Wavebird because I felt like it felt better than my other controllers. The triggers did. Let's see. Was there any other combining that I did that I'm forgetting about? But and I took a nice stick from another controller to put on the C stick. One problem with it was that sort of how the regular sticks kind of have their cap on them. It sort of rubbed against the plastic area a little bit. I mean, it wasn't terrible. And part of the other thing was part of what inspired me to do it in the first place was I got the GameCube version of Time Splitters 2. But then when I actually played it, I was like, you know what? This doesn't feel anything like it does with a DualShock. It just feels so much better with a DualShock because of the way that the GameCube sticks sort of encourage you to press in the 8 directions You know, you can move between them, but it really kind of locks you in. It kind of locks in easily. And it just didn't feel right for it. And I was like, oh, well, this kind of defeats the purpose to some extent. I'll be done in a few minutes, Sandy. 14 minutes. That's how long the King of all Cosmos can wait. You can wait that long too, right, Sandy? But anyway, yeah, so I put the regular stick in part because I realized, like, I really had limited the number of, like, just stock GameCube controllers that I could show on camera, you know?
Right.
So I was like, I want an Indigo controller that just looks like a regular GameCube controller for shooting purposes. And so it looks like a Indigo controller, except it's got, you know, the longer cord from the new controllers, because it's a new board with the new fresh buttons. But the shell is Indigo. So it's still kind of an upgrade, but you know,
yeah.
they don't make just an Indigo controller anymore. So that's going to be my main GameCube controller.
But yeah, that was when we did it in the end of November. For that, I guess we released an episode that we posted a long time ago that on a different site that never got released on Resident Evil Revelations.
Very different from a video I would do today, that's for sure.
Yes, yeah. Before that, I did a read-through of the fanzine that I made when I was 13, 12, maybe when I was 12, I guess, when I was in 6th grade. I thought that was a lot of fun. And it did a read through that, and you kind of went through all your third-party N64 cartridges.
Oh yeah, that was fun. You really helped me out with editing that.
Yeah. Before that, I went through some of my favorite Sega Genesis box arts. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, seriously, there is 41 videos.
And we've been, I mean, for the past, like month or two, we've been really, we've been saying it for a long time, but we've finally been able to get that consistency on it, where we've been releasing it every
even
Thursday.
Though it's like you know, the one that I did this week was very low effort. It was just some straight on capture. If you're interested in the Dreamcast HDMI, just what it looks like, then there's just some raw footage of that, along with me going through the menu previously. And there is one more issue of the fanzine that might have something special lined up.
Yeah, I'm very excited about your idea for that. That's
well, it wasn't my idea.
Oh, it wasn't?
No.
Oh, that's I think it's gonna be so fun. It actually makes it better now that I know it was not your idea.
When did we decide on making a Patreon, and when would you suggest a content creator make one?
It was around what, 10,000 maybe? Was what we were
No, because that was before we went weekly. I want to say it was probably around 5,000, probably.
I mean, you definitely need to be.
You should not be right out of the gate for sure.
Right,
especially you're still finding your footing anyways.
Right.
You don't even have like an idea of what your workload is going to be like. If you commit to certain things, I mean, that's one thing we found out is we committed in our Patreon announcement video. We said, oh, we're going to release weekly episodes. And then like we did that. We released it weekly episodes for like 5 months and we almost died.
Hang on. I think Sandy really wants to go out.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, I think if you're gonna do one, you should definitely wait until, ideally, over 1,000 at least. Especially, you know, you just kind of figure out what your workload is, and you're still kind of figuring out what your style of video is. by then too. And especially early on, you learn so much from video to video. And what you start out doing might not be what you end up doing in the long run. I mean, if you look at very early on our channel, we had no intention of ever being on camera. I mean, we didn't even do the first RGB video. We didn't even intend for that to be a series when we first made it. And that was like over a year after the channel started. Maybe a year later. Yeah, I mean, that was the big... The first RGB video was basically... was like the most important thing probably that happened to the channel, honestly. 1,000 subs, right? Especially learning through trial and error and just making videos. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good place to start doing it. And you can kind of get a feel for the workload that it takes. And you get into a groove with it. I think that's a good bar to kind of start with.
What, for when to start Patreon?
Yeah, I mean that's just what I feel.
I think for me, I mean, I don't really know what most people decide is worth giving to a Patreon for, but like for me, like I would want to feel like as a donor to someone's Patreon, I would want to feel like they are capable of drawing enough support to actually do something real with the money. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, you know, if you can only pull in like, you know, $2 a month, you know, what are you, you know, I feel like I would feel like they aren't going to be able to do anything with that. But if you could make at least like $50 or something, I'd be like, you know, I'd be like,
it's like a game a month.
Yeah, like that's something real you can do with that money that could impact the channel. Right. So I mean, I would be at a level where you expect you could at least make, you know, I'm just pulling $50 out of my butt, but I mean, whatever feels like to you, like, hey, you could do something meaningful and relevant to your channel with this amount of money. It doesn't have to be a crazy amount. Mm-hmm. But that just to me as a supporter makes me feel like, you know, it's obvious that my money can go to good use here and help make this channel or creator or whatever, like, can you know, I can play a role in making that better. Or helping make more content possible. But I mean, that just goes to show you don't want to jump the gun on it. You know, I mean, it's definitely tempting.
Yeah.
But you know, don't wait too long
either. Any other ways to support beyond Patreon? I mean, I guess we have like a PayPal.me. I think it's just like,
we've got like, I don't really understand the YouTube system as much as you do, but I mean, we have that available, right?
Yes, there is. You know, the membership here on YouTube.
Sandy, I can play with you in just a few minutes. She's almost done with her cone from getting spayed. I should be able to, you know, leave it off by Tuesday or Wednesday probably, but she just gets very bored with it on because it's hard to play with it on.
But is she had it on, sleeping with it and everything?
Yeah, well, I mean, I would say especially while sleeping because I can't supervise her. I mean, I try to give her a little time every day. You know,
To take it off?
Well, yeah, to not have it, but you know, I have to be able to kind of watch her while I feel like.
Yeah.
Cause she, whoa.
We do have
Whoa.
shirts through the the YouTube built in like the Teespring.
I'm out. No, okay, I'm fine.
Patreon does take a small percentage, but I mean, if you want to donate directly to us, you can go to paypal.me/MLiG. And that's just like a straight up
MLiG?
No. PayPal.me/MLiG.
Oh.
But there is shirts you can get through Teespring, which is like the built-in, like they have a agreement with YouTube. Although I would like to talk to somebody local to get other like special shirts made, like more handmade ones, I guess, like more not just from like a print shop like that, but like actual local business place can do it.
I mean, I already did that with the Backlogger years ago, but you.
Yeah.
I mean, you.
I know somebody here that has like the Arcade Legacy shirt that I'm wearing in the new episode. Something was like a local place made that.
Right, and like, you know, have some people that could potentially like design some. You know,
yeah, that's like a big
concepts.
thing, I think. Is we'd like to find somebody that can design a shirt with like it's like just not our logo on it, or the How to Beat logo.
That's probably what a lot of people want.
It is, but I mean, I think it'd be cool to have something else. Like I noticed that a lot of these, not a lot, but I don't know how you get selected for like by what's the website? It's like Pixel Empire. Is it Pixel Empire? Where they have it's like pop culture shirts, and they have like specific like YouTubers section, where I think that they actually approach them and ask them to do it, and then they like design a bunch of shirts for them because they have like 10 different YouTuber sets of shirts.
Well, there's a truck with TVs, and I am on every single one of them. That's kind of impressive. Oh, and they just flew everywhere. Man, I feel like I've got a long ways to go. 3 minutes here. I'm kind of nervous about this one.
It's okay. Scott Davis's donation is still sticking around. Yeah, we can't end the stream until Scott Davis's donation.
Sandy's kind of staring at me like, why are you not paying attention to me?
This is a Switch version, Scanlines.
You won't find scan lines in this version.
No. But you'll find apparently you won't find the English dub in this one.
But
So
it will be HD.
Yep, it will be HD, and you'll still have that great soundtrack. Well, it wouldn't be somebody's already donated $1. So it's already well past the round number. It'd just have to be 1 penny, really. Yeah, it probably will come to PS4 eventually.
Yeah, it's on PC as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what the deal was with it coming to Switch first. It is definitely surprising. I feel like it's a great game to have as an option for taking portable.
Have you guys ever attempted to use a SBC loaded with emulators and ROM, a component out connected to an OS system? Not sure. What is a SBC? Probably something I know, but I have no idea what it is. But I wonder if this does come out for PS4, if it's going to get a physical release. A single board computer, like
I screwed up.
Oh, like the Raspberry Pi or it's a stinker board. I mean, with the whatchamacallit, the Mister count, is that's more of a 2-board. Oh, it's the Soldier Boy console.
I don't even. I've been hearing people making jokes about it, but I still have no idea what.
If you have an opinion channel, like you release daily videos and about Soldier Boy, you are getting hundreds of thousands of views every day. Every day. Seriously, like there's so many people talking about the Soldier Boy consoles, and if you make a video about if we made a video talking about the Soldier Boy console, it'd probably be our highest viewed video. It'd probably pass the Game Boy episode in a day.
That's depressing.
If we did an RGB episode on the Soldier Boy, yeah, see, Mad Little Pixel broke 1 million views on his Soldier Boy handheld video, and it's like him just like talking about, and then he destroys it with an axe.
So what is it?
Or with a hatchet. It's just like a Chinese console you can get like an AliExpress.
And what kind of games can you play
on? Pirated games.
Like
it's like filled with pirated games. It's like a Tegra processor or something in it.
So it's just like pirated PC games or something? I mean,
yeah,
for the record, I don't even know who
console game.
I don't even know who Soldier Boy is. I mean, it's a name I've heard, but I do not know who that is.
Oh.
I assume a musician.
You're not missing much. I just know that I never really listened to his he was a rapper.
So is it these people who've done videos on, like, were they sent it or did they get it because they knew it would be a hot thing?
I think that Mad Little Pixel, like, he bought it and he was the first one to get it, to get one and do a video on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then he destroys it. Like, I mean, I didn't watch this whole one on the actual Soldier Boy console. Like, I was not focused on that at the time, and then I see like he had like 500,000 views. Like, he got like 12,000 new subscribers. And then he released the handheld, and then I watched that one, and he ends up destroying it with an axe at the end. Hybori, that's what Try is playing. It's the GameStop exclusive physical release.
Yeah, I was very depressed when I learned that it was not getting a physical release, but I was mistaken because I did not know at the time about the GameStop one. Now I am very happy.
Mad Little Pixel's video was so popular, another YouTuber copied his video and broke one with a hammer, and then contacted GameStop about the handheld. Then when they steal your content, you know it's good. But I have no idea how he keeps up that content. I mean, Mad Little Pixel is like releasing like 4 videos a day. I have no idea how he's doing it. I mean, it's just like a screen capture or like his hands. Just like there's not like a lot of editing going into it or anything like that. But he is cranking these things out. I mean, I can see the appeal of doing daily videos like that. I don't think that we have the personalities for it, for sure.
I mean, it's definitely like longer videos that are, people are like anticipating.
Yeah, and
everyone's thing is going to be different.
And that's the thing. I think that with content like that, it's 100% front loaded. It will be big for like a few days, or if it's like really big, it'll be a week, and then it's like on to the next thing. Like I take a lot of pride in the fact that we generally make things that can be viewed whenever. That are evergreen, I guess is a term for it.
So I like to think of
but
it.
I'm very envious to the kind of people.
Oh yeah, they can
do that. That can do that.
I mean, can you imagine if we could make the kinds of content we make but didn't have to script?
Yeah.
But we do. you kind of said a funny thing in the Dreamcast sort of Patreon video that you did. You're like, you ever wondering what a unscripted RGB video would be like? I guess this is it.
Yeah, it's true. Pixel, he broke a lot of gaming news recently. I mean, over the last few months. Like, I think he was the first one with the Neo Geo Mini, or like broke the news on the Neo Geo Mini. Are you saying your shows are scripted? I know it's just a joke, but I always crack up when people say, "Oh, these guys are definitely reading off a teleprompter."
Yeah, I feel like there's.
Well, it's like you don't want us not reading off a teleprompter.
Yeah,
at least in a real video.
I feel like there might be a misconception among like certain viewers. Like I'm especially thinking like younger people who have gotten so used to like the casualness of people on the internet that they may think that because it's scripted makes it like not real. Like you're reading someone else's.
Yeah.
Which is very much not true. It's our thoughts, our script, but it's it's just scripted because that's how we can organize our thoughts. I cannot organize my thoughts very cleanly, as is evident from the streams, just from a stream of thought. I mean, that video I did with John Linneman, I was only able to do that as half decently as I did because I had already just been like immersed in this GameCube thing for weeks.
Well, that's the thing, though.
And we did 2 takes.
But here's the thing I noticed, especially when I did the video with Happy Console Gamer that's going to be coming out in a few weeks. I am totally fine just talking, and I can talk and be very good off the cuff if I'm in a conversation with someone. If I'm like playing off somebody and talking back and forth, I'm totally fine. I feel like the thing that I did with Johnny is it's very good playing back and forth. Mm-hmm. We were just
and it definitely helps that it's a topic that like everything about.
Right, exactly.
So you just feel very comfortable talking about it.
Yes, exactly. I mean, Attack the Pixels is saying, if we were drunk or caffeinated, it would be amazing, non-scripted.
Caffeine doesn't do anything.
But if I had somebody to talk to, I'd be fine. But just me talking to a camera, I don't think that I'd be able to, even if I was. I know, another 24-hour charity stream would be awesome to do.
We kind of just I mean, I was
We just
skeptical
didn't
if
have
we
time.
really had the time to do it this year anyway. You were really high on it, and then all of a sudden we like missed it.
Right. Right. I mean, we are at our best scripted because those scripts go through so many revisions.
Huh, like this one. GameCube one.
Right. I mean, you say one of the things I like about GameStack, but if you look at their in-between segments, those are completely not scripted. They probably say, "Oh, I'm going to say this," like, or "I'm going to make a conversation about this."
Right, and that
I
would
think
be
that
fun to do if we were
Could get
local
together.
and had the context for doing it, but that'd also be very much ripping off GameStack too.
Right. Exactly. And like, there's no reason for us to be in the same room like that, anyways, because it's impossible, anyways. I mean, there was a point when we were talking about when we were thinking about doing the first RGB episode, we were thinking, oh, we'll just green screen each other
Oh,
in like,
yeah.
the same shots. And I'm like, no.
Yeah,
that's not
I was really into that idea, and you had to talk me down from it. You're like, that is not gonna work. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can do it.
No.
I think even with our matched cameras, or relatively matched cameras, like we couldn't quite pull that off.
No. Just the lighting and everything would be all wrong.
Yeah.
But I mean, they are very much unscripted in their in-between segments, but they've been doing it so long that they're able to just crank it out.
Yeah.
I see Reluctant Heroes talk about Bithead, and everyone should watch Bithead. If I could just talk to the camera like that, I mean, I would be doing it all the time. Like, it is unbelievable to not more. I should wear my Bithead. I should wear my Bithead shirt.
You kind of cut out there. It's unbelievable to you what?
That Bithead is not bigger and more popular than he is.
Well, I remember when you wore that shirt, someone made the comment that like, why is it that content creators seem to be Bithead's biggest fans? And I think you said that.
I'm envious.
Yeah.
I love just listening to him. But that would be my number one dream, is like guests for the live stream, is to have Bithead on the live stream. But I don't think that I feel like he'd just make fun of us, or think that he's like these guys. I don't know. I don't know how familiar he is like with the stuff that we do.
I mean, I know people have certainly directed him to our videos when you have worn his shirt.
Yes, he is a natural storyteller, and I think that sometimes he knows exactly how funny he is. So whenever he's like taking a sip of coffee, when he has to stop and take a sip of coffee, I think he does that because so he doesn't like laugh at how good his joke was. I think that's his way of like not bursting out. Like I know when he's got to think when he says something that's like is really really good. He knows it's really really good. And he's like, I'm gonna take a drink, let that sink in now. But I mean,
I know there's a bear.
I would love to have him on the stream sometime. Right. I think, you know, having scripted stuff is. Yeah,
I mean, there's a place for all. For
we try to make it as informational as possible. Like, we inject our opinions here and there, but it's not about our opinion.
No.
I've only seen a handful of Scott the Waz's videos. They seem to constantly get recommended. He's a funny guy. His subjects are crowd pleasing, I think, and that's why he's very smart, and he knows that it's like if we were just doing as brilliant of episode, like brilliant ideas as the third-party controllers was.
Like all.
I mean, it's just like it's a very simple idea, but it's a very watchable subject. You know, he did one as like console redesign. stuff like that. It's just like very, very general. He did a controllers episode where it's just like looking at a bunch of controllers, like first part, like the controllers that were tap-ins with system. Yeah, it's watching his channel. I've not watched everything from the very beginning, but annual comparison video: Yoshi's Island SNES and GBA. That might be fun. It's not a huge difference.
I mean, a lot of people think there is. I don't think the GBA version is as bad as people give it flack for, to be honest. But I mean, there's absolutely a difference. I mean, I do want to do like a you know, best way to play. I don't know if it would just be like NES Marios or 2D Marios, or I don't know. I do want to do one of those on the Mario games sometime, and maybe I could work Yoshi's Island into it. I don't know. I'd have to think about what the theme would be exactly, but
right. But like something like that, when we talk about doing very like crowd pleasing episodes,
it would still be in our
style, but it'll be games that are maybe very obvious, or like it's like
a lot of times we try to avoid the obvious games.
Yeah, and maybe that's like overall to like our slow growth maybe is like attributed to that to an extent.
Not to say we would entirely go on just the popular stuff, because I mean, like Wonder Boy and Phantasy. I mean, I don't think Wonder Boy and Phantasy Star are going to be like, you know.
Those are passion projects.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you got to make the blockbusters to make the passion project.
Exactly. Well, but I mean, I think, you know, certainly for me, you know, stuff like, you know, Mario or Zelda, if I do video. Kirby's been a thing I've really wanted to do for a long time. And now we've kind of got like just a better format for presenting those kinds of ideas.
Yeah.
Now that we've kind of like figured it
out.
And
as I've been scripting this Phantasy Star one, it's kind of like, well, it's kind of a tough thing. It's like, well, how far do I go into comparing it, you know?
I mean, at least with Castlevania, it was really only 2 games I was looking at.
Right, but this is 4 games, but it's not like too crazy. Like, no. I don't spend too much time. You should look at what I have so far and see if you think that I'm going too far with it.
I mean, as long as it's something you can get done in a reasonable time, I don't see why.
And I guess, you know, the general consensus seems to be the longer the better.
Yeah, like there are very few people who complain about the length of videos, and usually when they are, I mean,
there was one guy today is like 28 minutes is way too long for this crap.
Yeah, but he was like, the thing is, he didn't have any interest in GameCube or anything like that to begin with. It sounded like he usually when people complain about,
they repeat information.
Yeah, when people, which to be fair, we probably kind of did repeat information because of just how difficult it was to organize the subject and how it evolved over production. And oh my gosh, this is the first level where you like really get this sense of like how the scale.
Oh, I'm gonna be picking up houses now.
Yeah, I mean, I was starting off smaller than a mouse. Like that's my favorite thing about this game is just like, without the game loading anything, it just scales up like this. It's just, I know the graphics are simple and everything, but like in a span of seconds, I've gone from like 12 meters to 18 meters. Like once you pass the requirement threshold for a level like this, you're just like going nuts. And like eventually you can pick up like rainbows in the last level.
Trist Face is saying, just pop it in and say, keep it up. I discovered your channel with your videos in 4K TVs and HDR.
Oh, thank
perfect
you.
timing around Black Friday when I made the leap for my 1080p.
But believe it or not, I wanted to have that video out by last Black Friday. It ended up coming out this summer.
That's all right. Games and broadcast. I'll check that out. Started a series called Games and Design. That's a My Life in Gaming and Marc Brown style narrative, but the information is irreverent and incorrectly delivered sincerely. I see. So it's almost like our How to, in a way, where it's like that's kind of funny. Like it just takes itself very seriously and like plays it completely straight and gives wrong information. As long as people know.
Yeah.
I would love to see like a Technologies Connection episode where it's like him just doing the episode, but it's like completely wrong the whole time. Have you watched Technology Connections at all?
No.
You should. It's like it's very he's got like kind of a dry sense of humor. He's a younger guy, but he did like, these videos on how, like, he just did one on how closed captioning works. It's just very interesting, and he's like exploded. Like his channel's exploded in the last last 6 months. Like he's gone pretty quickly from like 50,000 to almost 200,000, I think. Maybe even almost 300,000 now that I think about it. Yeah, he did a whole thing about laser discs. But I think it would be really funny if he did an episode, but it was just like completely wrong. Like it was like an April Fool's. It only goes up for like a day, and it's just delivered in that style, and it's completely wrong. But it's very interesting watching his show too. How much more comfortable he becomes on camera over time, and now he's kind of got a little bit of a sense of humor on camera. It's just funny. It's funny edited. Like it's edited in a way where it's might be a little bit goofy, but it plays it straight. Like kind of like what we do, where it's like there's little humorous flourishes there.
Yeah, but we don't really point them out. Like mostly we don't even know what the visuals are going to be when we
write it. Yeah,
when we write it, it's just like, oh, I'm going to do this. Well, one of my favorite things I just kind of came up with randomly for the new episode was I had the first GCHD, and I'm like trying to plug the Wii cable in, and then I just cut, and there's a GCHD Mark II in it, and whoop, the Wii cable just goes in. I was proud of that one.
I like when I'm in the controllers episode when I was going over the Wu-Tang, I was like kind of like tweaking the start button. That's one of my favorite things, is just kind of touching and kind of flicking it with my finger a little bit. I was like little, almost like giving a little bit too much attention, I guess. But all right, is that gonna do it?
I guess so. I didn't mean to go until midnight.
It's all right. It is what it is. But all right. So thanks for all the donations, everyone. Thanks for coming and hanging out. It was a lot of fun. This is a very relaxing stream.
Yeah, I needed it. I needed it.
Yeah.
I needed 3 hours of playing Katamari. No better way to de-stress than that, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what's next week. Maybe let's see. I have an idea of maybe what to do. What is next week?
Well, next week, I mean, I don't know if I might already be like at my parents' house for Christmas or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're available to play anything, I could.
I'm going to my in-laws on Saturday.
Oh. So next week might just be off.
We might have to reschedule it for a different day if we can.
Yeah. Well, we'll think about it.
Yeah.
Too bad you
Okay,
can't
well,
just stream from a Switch directly.
well, maybe I might be able. I bet you I could stream from my laptop.
I mean, I could
They're
join
not
you
gonna-
on Skype or Discord, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. Like we'll have to see. Maybe we'll stream a different night this week. Maybe we'll stream like Thursday night or something like that. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Watch the Twitters and your notifications, I suppose.
Actually, I might be coming back on the.
On the 23rd?
Yeah, because I know we're spending Christmas Eve at home, but I don't know if we're coming home Christmas Eve morning. But we'll see. Anyways, we'll figure it out.
All right.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Good night.
See you soon. Good night.